Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Popeye Goose. Thanks for joining me today. Last time you saw me was last Friday during my Christmas event where I gave out 10 gift cards or shark cards worth a total of $140. The gameplay was kind of crap because we had a lot of people losing connection and basically having to rejoin. But as far as the giveaway, I think that was pretty successful. I think we had some really happy people. So with that being said, I hope everybody had a great holiday. Today's video is the Overflod Autarch. It's a new car that came out on Tuesday. I know you're going to say, Goose, you're a little bit behind, but I recorded these clips yesterday and I ended up doing something else, so I kind of waited until today. Most importantly, you're going to notice that this car, okay, it's about $2 million. It is not the new fastest car in the game. It's probably not even in the top, I don't know, probably not even the top 7 fastest cars in the game. Right now I got a little test track and you can go ahead and see. It's a 1.75 mile track. When I did this, believe it or not, the fastest car in the game is the Fister 811, and its time was 28.1, 28.3, kept fluctuating back and forth. If you want to check out the stats from all the supercars that I tested, a couple weeks ago I did a 2-day test trial of the supercar, so go ahead and check that out if you want to. We'll go ahead and finish this off, and I'll tell you some of the other cars that are faster than this. And I didn't race the cars once or twice. I did each car about 5, 6, some of them even 8 times over the 2 days. So it was pretty reliable as far as the numbers. Yeah, you see right there, 29.23. That was pretty much comparable to the Itali GTB, the T20, the Visione, the Comet. There was some other cars, even the FMJ, to believe it or not. But the 3 fastest cars in the game is the Fister 811. Then you have the Wagner, you have the X80 that's a little bit slower than the Wagner, and then kind of up at around the 29-point range. And I'm sorry, those 3 cars I mentioned were the only cars that finished under 29 seconds during this same exact test. So you're going to go ahead and see the price is about $2 million. We're going to go ahead and order it, and then I'm going to drive it in, do a little bit of customization, do a test drive. You already saw the speed trial, and then I'll go ahead and give you my final review. But, yeah, the other cars that finished, you know, roughly about 29 seconds was the T20, the Itali GTB, the FMJ, the Coil Voltic, the Coil Cyclone, and then you also had the Nero Custom and some other cars in the Visione. So this car's roughly up, you know, between 7th to 10th fastest car in the game. It's got amazing handling. I personally don't think the car looks that great, but you'll see here there's a lot of customizations as far as the skirts, the bumpers, the hoods, the roof, and you know, all that kind of stuff. As I said, I mean, you can see right there the handling or the traction and the acceleration is incredible. The top speed stat, if I'm not mistaken, it looks like it is the highest in the game out of all the cars. It looks like it's a little bit higher than the Wagner or the X80. I could be mistaken, but this car is definitely not one of the top fastest cars in the game. As I said, it's probably somewhere between 7 to 10 as far as the fastest cars. So for the price, you're still better off going with the Wagner if you're looking for racing, or, believe it or not, like I said, the Fister 811. If you don't believe me, go ahead and check out those videos. You know, stats don't lie. It continuously performed the fastest car every time. Excuse me, I'm getting a little sick here. I got a little bit of stuffed nose, so please bear with me. You'll see again, some of the customizations are pretty cool. Like I said, it's a really nice car, I think, as far as handling. If you're somebody who's has a little bit of trouble when you're racing, you know, going full speed around turns and stuff, this car should help you because of the fact that, you know, it has great handling. And the braking's, you know, it's kind of decent compared to a lot of the other cars. So if you have the money and you're just looking for another car to go ahead and buy, I would recommend, you know, go ahead, add it to your collection. If you're specifically looking for a car that you want to, you know, race with and win, I would kind of say stay away from this unless you're somebody who's, you know, has a little bit of trouble with your handling. Then, you know, this might be able to help you around those turns or help you when you, you know, get crashed out by somebody else to go ahead and regain yourself. So it could be a pretty good car for somebody who, you know, struggles a little bit with the control. I usually do pretty decent with my controls, so I prefer to just have this straight up the fastest car. So, like I said, you can go ahead and test it out, see what you want to do. But if you're basically banking on buying a new car to have the fastest car in the game or to start winning races with it, I mean, you possibly could with this one. I would still recommend some of the cheaper cars, like the Fister is 1.1 million, and then you have the Wagner, which is very similar to this car. It has a kind of a similar and an also different body design as this car here, but it's kind of on the gist of like the Wagner, but it's not as fast as the Wagner, and it's about 500,000 faster than the Wagner. So for racing, I would still recommend, you know, the Wagner, or, you know, you'd be surprised, go ahead and check out that Fister 811. You'll really be surprised on how fast that thing is. So I think we're almost done here. I'm not going to go through rims and all that stuff, just basically, you know, some of the major customizations on it, so you can kind of see what the schemes are, and see how, you know, how the car could possibly look with whatever kind of color scheme that you want. The last couple clips, I'm just going to do a test of after, you know, I just got out of the garage and just customized it. Just want to see how the acceleration is, and, you know, that type of stuff. You'll also notice I switched to this these cool camera angles. It's a bitch to drive like that, but, you know, I don't really care. I haven't done it yet, but I will soon. I think it just makes it look, you know, that much more interesting. Like I said, it's tough as hell to drive, but if you can somehow manage to either put, you know, a minute or so together, I mean, you got a pretty cool clip. It is a fast car, like I said, you know, don't get me wrong, it's just not one of the fastest cars. So, you know, maybe you like the handling and the customizations better than you might with, you know, the Fister, which is a pretty basic one as far as the supercars for customization. And, you know, the Wagner. So I would say maybe go ahead and check it out if you got the cash. If you're banking on winning races with it, then, you know, I would kind of stay away from this one. Get one of the cheaper ones, or just keep one of the cars you have. You know, I can't see if you're struggling on cash, you know, to go out and spend this car, spend the money on this car just because it's a new one. You know, you're going to be really disappointed, I would say, unless, like I said, if you have some problems with the traction and you want to be able to get an edge, and hopefully, you know, the fact that it's not one of the fastest cars in the game, but the fact that it probably has the best traction, you know, maybe that could be an advantage for you. Maybe it could work out, and maybe you could be more successful. I'm just saying, in my opinion, I'm going to go ahead and, you know, just keep this one in my garage, maybe cruise it out around every once in a while, but I'm not going to be spending too much time in the car, I would say. Before I go ahead and end this video, which we're about to wrap it up right now, I just want to give a shout out to a new subscriber on my channel, GTA 5 Tryhard God. What's up? Appreciate you subscribing. So my final review on this car, it's got great handling, the speed's okay, good acceleration. If you're looking to win races with it, and you're somebody who kind of struggles with the traction, I would say go ahead and give it a go. It could be the advantage that you need to you know, pull out some victories. With that being said, I want to thank you for joining me for today's video, and I hope to see you guys next time.